Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is safe and doing really well. So today I have come up with a new tutorial which is related to how to host a website with HTTPS enabled using AWS S3, Route 53 and CloudFront. So as you can see the screen, there are 3 points as an agenda of this tutorial. First one is problem statement, which just now I have stated. Now let's understand the problem statement with an example, right? So today, whatever the website we visit, if you notice, it has a SSL certificate. And what does that really mean? So SSL certificate is an additional layer of security which is responsible to encrypt the data or information whatever we pass through that website. Right? So it stands for socket secure layer, which means that it adds an additional layer to ensure that all the informations are encrypted. And it also suffices that if all the informations are related, then obviously the third person cannot read those information, right? For example, you know whatever the bank information, whenever we visit a bank website, right, we pass some critical information like credit card information or bank information like account number, right, CCV number, etc. So if we have SSL certificate enabled for that particular website, then which means that it encrypts those information, right? It encrypts those information so that third person cannot process those data. Right? So we can say that it adds an additional layer of check to ensure that the third person cannot read the information whatever we are passing through that particular website. So that is the problem statement we are trying to solve here. Now you may ask further question, which is, or which could be, now everything is, technology is so advanced, then why you are coming with such tutorial? So the idea here is, you know it's not like something new I am providing here or I am trying to share with you guys. you know so as you can see in the why part, right, second point, why should we do it? The first point we have already discussed. The second part is we will learn various key AWS services that might use in future projects, and that AWS services are nothing but I'm trying to refer to these services like S3, Route 53, CloudFront, etc. So if you use any third-party services to enable such functionality, like in this case, to add additional SSL certificate, etc., right? Which means that we are going to be unaware of all these services in some way, right? So I'm just trying to share these things. Like let's say if you wanted to host a website with a minimal cost, right? So if you look at third point, right, where I have mentioned that more economical. And what does this mean? This means that I've used AWS free tier, which comes with a year free plan, which has the limited services like it will provide 8 GB, 8 GB total memory. Hard disk size will be hard disk space will be 8 GB, 1 GB RAM, and some services with limited usage, right? So if you're trying to learn something, if you're trying to host a website, let's say you are new to this web world and you are trying to host a website, definitely there is a platform where you can just uh, provide all the information, content, images, etc., and your website will be ready. Now question is, either you want to go with that option, that's totally fine, Now we can go with that option as well, but what I'm trying to say here is if you go with that option and we are new to the web world, we are going to miss lot of learning aspect, right? So that's the, keeping that thing in my mind, I have come up with this tutorial, right? And when I say more economical, right, when you choose this AWS free plan, right, and if you host a website, then I can guarantee you it will hardly cost you 5 to 600 rupees per month, not more than that. And again, it's depend on usage. Let's say if you hosted a website and like it has more traffic day by day, then obviously you'll have to upgrade, and as soon as you upgrade, uh, AWS will charge more money based on whatever the criteria is, right? So that's the reason I have come with this tutorial. Nothing new, nothing fancy. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. Now the third point is you know which is how do we set up this using AWS services. Yes, so that's the objective of this video tutorial, and we'll be learning in few minutes, right? So in this session what I'll be doing is I'll be hosting a website. I have purchased a domain, right? So I'll be hosting that using S3, Route 53 and CloudFront, and we'll make sure that once that website is ready, it has the SSL certificate enabled, right? So without wasting much time, let's proceed with the steps. So as you can see here, I have purchased a domain called kalenews.info, right? So it's a new domain, and if you look at if you try to access this, right, I mean it is accessible, but there is no further information here, right? It redirects you to this particular website, right? It says that a domain this good deserves a website, etc., right? So there is no content available to this. So our objective will be here, to add some content, and definitely you can add the relative content here, but what I'll be doing here is I'll be just you know I'll be just I mean so if we access localhost 4300, right, which is running in my local machine, so I'll be trying to host this website to this domain. Okay, so that will be our objective. So currently this is running on our local host. Now we'll have to map this with kalenews.info, right? So currently we are seeing this page. At last our objective will be to see this page when we try to access kalenews.info, right? So what I'll do here is first we will create S3 bucket, right? So as you can see there are already two S3 bucket I have created. One is kalenews.co and the other one is learn-and-share.live, which is already live. So what I'll do is I'll create a new S3 bucket here, which is with the same name of the domain, right? So don't have to specify these things. So kalenews.info, right? Next. So I'm keeping all this information as default. You may read all this information in detail, and based on your requirement you can opt this option. So currently by default block all public access is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck this. I'm just making everything is public for now. Create bucket. So now as you can see objects can be public, right? So what I'll be doing now here is I'll be uploading all the files, all the build files So okay, so before I take the further steps, sorry, I have missed to explain that. So I have created a blog here, which is to host a website with HTTPS enabled using AWS S3, Route 53, and CloudFront. So as you can see, I have mentioned the detailed steps as well, like what is prerequisite steps, right? What all technology stack is required, and what all steps we need to follow in order to achieve this objective, right? So I'm not going to discuss the these points because we have already discussed in the beginning. But if you look at the prerequisite section, right, it says we need an active domain name, which we have, which is kalenews.info. The second point is we must have an AWS account, because the example which I am presenting here is totally based on the AWS services. So you should have an account on AWS, and I would highly recommend, if you are a learner, then go with the free tier option only. And then we have to create a web app, and again I'm using Angular for that, right? So these are the prerequisites are required uh, before achieve that objective whatever we have discussed so far, right? So technology stack, which is Angular, Node.js, and AWS. So uh, in this example I'm not going to cover the Node.js part, but I'll explain why this is required. Let's say you wanted a dynamic we wanted to you wanted to host a dynamic web application, right? So in that case, let's say there is an API involved where you are saving some data, you are providing an option to delete some record through your web interface, right? Then in that case you may use whatever the backend language you want, right? So for this learn and share.live I have used node.js. That's the reason I have mentioned node.js here, but it again it's up to you whatever the backend language you want to prefer. And then lastly AWS. So these are the technology stack is required for this objective. Okay, so let's move to the steps which are required to achieve this. So first step is that create an S3 bucket and necessary configuration associated with this. So that is what we were doing here, right? So we have created a S3 bucket with the same name as kalenews.info, which is our domain name, right? So this is very key point here. So don't create any S3 bucket uh, with a different name. I mean, whatever the domain name you have purchased, make sure that when you create a S3 bucket, the name should be same, exactly same. There is no space and additional characters, right? Now we have created a S3 bucket here. So what we have to do is we have to upload all the build files here, right? So what we can do is we can build with production configuration. So now till it builds the app. So again, as I mentioned, these are the prerequisite steps, right? So I'm assuming that whoever is watching this video, they're aware of Angular, right? And AWS, like they know the basic of AWS. We don't have to know the advance of AWS, but at least the basic of AWS services, and uh, and of course Angular, right? Okay, so now it has built now. So what we have to do is we have to upload all the build files, right? So I'll just select all and I'll upload. Okay, so now it has uploaded. uh, so what we can do is just to see if the site is accessible or not using S3. So we have to enable static website hosting, right? So as you can see here, by default it is disabled. Now to enable that, what we have to do is we have to opt this option. And what is your entry point? In Angular, all we know that entry point is index.html file. So now you specify the index document, which is index.html here, and save this. So as soon as we save this, it says it provides a URL endpoint. You can click on this and we should see the same page what we are seeing in the localhost. So as soon as we click on this, so it says 403 forbidden. Okay, because I have not provided the access to these files. So for now what I'll do is I'll make this public. Okay, so I would recommend to go through the S3 documentation in detail to ensure that whatever the access you are providing, it shouldn't be accessible to everyone, right? So since for this AWS account I am the owner of this account, so yeah, so I'm just opting these options. So now when you refresh this, as you can see, we are able to see the same content what we are seeing for localhost, right? Now what is our objective? Our objective is to see the same content when we try to access this kalenews.info, right? Currently we are seeing this, right? Even if we refresh this, we will see the same information, which is the default page of the GoDaddy. Whenever we purchase this domain, right, it provides this content only. Okay, so let's see what is the next step. So next step says that we have to create a hosted zone under Route 53. So before I move to this step, let's make sure that we have covered all the points whatever we have added here, right? So it says by default it should be selected as disable web hosting. Yes, that we have done. And as a result, once we follow above mentioned steps, we should be able to access the application which we have built. The endpoint can be seen from properties static. Yes. So what I'm trying to say here is, once we access this URL which S3 provides, we should be able to see this content, right? So as a result, yes, we are seeing that. So we can confirm that this step is completely covered. Okay, moving to the next step, which is to add a public hosted zone, right? So let's go back to AWS services. So now let's say this is the history, right, which says these are the services already listed here. So initially it you may not see this since I have already accessed these services. That's the reason it comes under history. But let's say if you are not able to see that, what you can do is you can search for Route 53. So you have to opt this option. Okay, so as you can see, there is already two hosted zone here. So let's click on this. So one is learn-and-share.live and one is kalenews.co. So we'll be creating a new one, and let's call this kalenews.info. And it is always it's a good practice to put the comment so that any of your team member, or at least if you are seeing this page, then you will come to know why you have created this. So the purpose of this domain is to a platform to avail sports related news and its forecast. Okay, so type we have to keep as public hosted domain, sorry, public hosted zone. Let's create it. Okay, so as you can see, by default it has created two entry here. One is info with type ns and one is with SOA. Let's see what the next step it says. Okay, so you would be seeing a public hosted zone created. So yes, we have done that. Now next step is edit route 53, add a CNAME type entry as this one. Okay, so which means that we have to add a new entry with CNAME type, and the value of that will be our domain name. So in this example, the domain name will be kalenews.info, right? So let's go to route 53, create a record set. So www.kalenews.info and type will be CNAME. And what it says, the value should be your the domain name. So like www.kalenews.info. Okay, so TTLs in seconds I'm keeping 300 only. Okay, now let's create this. The domain name that you want to resolve to instead of the value in the name field. But it says is not permitted as it creates a CNAME or alias. Okay. Okay, since it's a alias, right? So it was throwing that error because it cannot be the same name as domain name, right? So now as you can see that there is an entry now, right? Yeah. So yes, keep the routing policy as default, which would be simple. Yes. So we are done with these steps, right? So now let's move to the next step, which is you know uh, which is to obtain the SSL certificate, right? So how do we do that? So in AWS we do have an option called certificate manager, right? So when we again look for this one, certificate manager, sorry, my bad, certificate manager, right? So here we have to create a certificate, we have to request for a certificate. So we do have a two option here. One is private certificate authority, and the other one is provision certificates. So I'm not going to explain this in detail. uh, if you guys need these details information, please do let me know in the comment section so that I can come up with a new video, or I can create a document for that. But I believe that AWS has very good documentation, so you can go through them and you can get the maximum information whatever you are looking for, right? So in this tutorial we'll be choosing this option, which is provision certificates. So I'll go with that. Create a public certificate. Okay, so here we have to specify the domain name, right? So which is like kalenews.info, add, and let's say I'll be adding a what do we call that, regex here, which is start dot, to make sure if you have any subdomain, right? So that should also have the SSL certificate. So hence start dot kalenews dot info. Next. And now since this domain is purchased by, I mean, I have purchased this domain through GoDaddy, right? And the SSL certificate which we are trying to obtain from AWS for that particular domain. Now there are two different services, right? So when we are requesting a certificate from AWS, we have to validate that domain because that is not registered through AWS. Now, how will you do that? So, AWS have two options. One is DNS validation and the other one is email validation. Since for that particular domain, which is kalenews.info, I don't have email ID. So what I'll do is I'll go with DNS validation, right? And yes, okay. I'm sorry. I think I have to change the region. So when you create under Singapore region, uh, it won't get approved, right? So I'll tell you why. Because when we try to add this certificate in the CloudFront, right, it says that you know I mean it is trying to look for the certificate which comes under this Virginia region, and to be honest, I don't have that further explanation why is that happening, but I may read about that more, and I can share the details. So for now, we'll have to create a certificate under this region. Okay, so let's add the same information again, kalenews.info. DNS validation. If you want to create a tag name and value, go for it. For now I'm skipping this. So kalenews.info, right? So making sure that domain name is same. Yes, it is same. Confirm and request. Now it will give two option. It will give you the two type. Same type, which is CNAME, but two different value, because we have added two domain, right? So if you add like one new domain, the value will be there will be one more entry here, right? So currently there are two entry because we have added two domain. So what we have to do is, as a further step, we have to copy this value and we have to add this under GoDaddy as a record, right? So hope you now you can relate it, right? So whatever the CNAME type is provided by AWS, we are going to add under GoDaddy, so that it will establish, it will validate that, okay, so whatever the domain, uh, whatever the certificate we are requesting for that particular domain is valid or not. So that is how AWS is going to validate. So we have to add this record type of CNAME. This is your host and value will be this one. So TTL, I'll keep custom and for 600 seconds, so that within 5 minutes this will get validated. So I'm going to save this, and I believe the other one has the same name. Yes. Okay, so now you may think that why there are two entry, though the CNAME type is same and host and value is same. So the reason here, if you see, right, the domain name is same, only difference is we have added star dot, which means any subdomain if we have, then it will also have the same SSL certificate, right? So it's like domain and subdomain. This is the reason it create with the same host and value. Now if you add any further domain, like for example www.kalenews.info, then in that case it will create another entry with different host and value, right? So let's add this create record in route 53 as well, because this is required to achieve this, right? So now, as you can see, currently the status is pending validation, because it may take some time to validate the domain by AWS before it issue a new certificate for us, right? So now continue. So as I explained, the status says pending validation, right, and in use no. So before, of course, before we use this, right, the status should be issued. So it should issued in few minutes. So as you can see, I have requested two certificate with two different domain, and for both the domain the status is issued, right? So let's wait for this as well. Hope I have saved the details. Yes. Meanwhile, we can see the steps, right? DNS validation, confirm and request, yes. Pending validation, this is because AWS needs to validate the domain name for which you have requested for SSL certificate, right? So I think we have covered all these steps. So we are waiting for this step, which is once this is done and all the above steps are followed rightly, then you should see the status would have changed to issued from pending validation, right? So we are waiting for that. I'm just making sure that domain name is proper. Yeah, it's proper. Let's refresh one more time. It's still pending in pending status. Okay, till we wait for this, right? Yeah, so these are the challenges when I was doing this, right? This setup I had faced, which was status was kept saying as pending validation for a long time, and the reason was select the right region. So I think I have considered this a step. And the second point was CNAME record within your DNS provider correctly, no spelling mistakes and additional spaces. So I think we have considered that factor as well. Okay, let's check the status now. I think still it's not 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so as you can see now, the status is issued, right? Which means the certificate is available for us to use further. So the now next step is we have to create a CloudFront distribution, okay, where we'll be using this certificate, okay. So now how will you do that? So in order to do that, there's an option called, there's a service provided by AWS, CloudFront, right? So it's like, you might see some URL as CDN, right? So that is nothing but your, content delivery network, right? So AWS has that option. So as you can see, we have two entry here, which I have used for two different domain. So I'm going to create another distribution, and we have to opt the option as a web. Add the origin domain. So in this case, the origin domain will be your S3 bucket URL, right? So that we can get it from here. Go to properties, static website hosting, and this is your endpoint, right? So what we have to do here is copy this URL without HTTP, okay, and add here under original domain name. And when you click outside, origin ID will be already added here, right? So that's it from origin setting side. Now let's move to the next section, which is default cache behavior setting. So as you can see here, we have option redirect HTTP to HTTPS. So I'll just change this option. Okay, so for more details, right, you can click on this info and you can get the details, right, like this. Okay, and let's move to the next section. Okay, object caching. So as you can see, the default timing is this much. So when you try to calculate this in minutes or yes, in minutes or in hours, you'll get like more time. So I'm going to customize this. So I'll keep this for 600 seconds and this one for 300 seconds. Right? Again, this is just for an example, right? I mean, what will be the best practices when you are working on or when you are hosting your web application, right? When you wanted to make sure that it shouldn't pick from the cache, instead it should redirect to the your actual host and get the details. So this is all about your caching here, right? Caching configuration, I would say, right? I'll keep all the setting as default. Now as you can see here, alternate domain names, which is your C names. So for this example, we have added kale news.info and start.kalenews.info, right? uh, SSL certificate, we have to choose the custom SSL, and when you click on this, you are seeing here three, but we have to choose the kalenews.info. Okay, again, as I explained earlier, please ensure that you are creating the certificate under the right region. So as you can see here, right, choose this option if you want to use, if you want your users to access your content by using an alternate domain name, right? You can use a certificate stored in AWS Certificate Manager in the US East North Virginia region. So here's the point which I was talking about initially. Now why this is the case here, I don't have the to be honest, I don't have the exact explanation, but definitely I can read about this. But initially when I was creating the certificate, this is the problem I was facing, because I was creating the certificate in different region. That's the reason I was not able to see the certificate listed here, right? So please make sure we are creating the certificates under North Virginia. Okay, yeah, I think that's it from this. I'll keep all this configuration as it is, and we'll create a distribution. So it might take some time, right? Because it takes some time to reflect all these changes, and you know so as you can see, the status is in progress. Once this is done, the status will be changed to deployed. Okay. Now once this is done, let's see what is the next step. I think this is pretty much it. Once that is done, we should be able to access the application under kalenews.info here. But wait, okay, so the further step will be we have to copy this CloudFront domain, and we have to add as another CNAME type under GoDaddy, right? So again, since I purchased the domain from GoDaddy, right? So of course, it GoDaddy is the DNS provider for me here in this case. So we'll have to add this CloudFront domain under GoDaddy. So what I'll be doing is, let's see if that is created. That is still in progress. So what we can do is, for now, we can copy this domain till this is in progress, and we can add another CNAME record type. Host will be I think, okay, there's already a host with www, so we'll have to edit this one, okay, and point to CloudFront. Hope you guys can relate it, how as AWS is going to contact to DNS provider, and then it is going to render the content whatever you have added under S3, right? See the mapping. I think it's pretty straightforward. TTL I'm going to add as custom here. I'll change the value to 600 seconds so that it will reflect within 5 minutes. sorry, not 5 minutes, 600 seconds, right? So within 10 minutes. Let's see what is the status. Okay, still it is in progress, so we'll wait for some time. Right, so okay, so till this is happening, right? So if you guys need any further information, though this video tutorial will be available, but so I have all this information you can get under this blog. Okay, and this blog is accessible under this learn and share.live, right? So again, yeah, so yeah, so that is what I was trying to say here. And if you guys face any problem while doing so, uh, I request you to share the comment, I mean share the question or ask the question over the comment section, or you can drop me an email to servikas@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer all the queries whatever you guys have, right? So yeah, okay, yeah, so that is what I was trying to say here. I think next step will be we have to forward the domain here, I mean the domain request. So we have to add our site name, which is kalenews.info, right? Forward to, so whenever we make any request to http here, it will be forwarding to this http kalenews.info. I'm going to save this and keeping all the information as default, right? So there is some warning here, you know like for security reasons, so for now I'm going to ignore that. Okay, so that's it. So once these steps are okay, so as you can see, the status is deployed now. So now when we try to access this site, right, I'm not going to close this, yeah, we should be able to get that content what we are getting into our local host, right? So as soon as you refresh this, we should have this content with SSL certificate, right? So as you can see, we have this content with SSL certificate enabled, right? And you can see the certificate details as well. Issued by Amazon, expires 19th August 2021. So by default it provides you know it provides this expiration for a year, right? You can see the details as well, kalenews.info, origin name, etc., right? All this information you can see here, right? So yeah, so this is pretty much it for this video tutorial. So this is what I was trying to share with you all guys, so that whenever you guys wanted to create or host a website with HTTPS enable, you can go with this option as well. I'm not saying this is the only option, but when I was trying to do this, uh, to explore all this learning curve or learning path, I came across this, and I created this tutorial. Okay, so with this note, I hope you guys have liked this video, and somehow it will be, or it is helpful to you guys as well. If so, please do comment, what do you guys think about this, how this is helpful for you guys. Please do like, do subscribe, and again, if you guys have any further queries, please post all your queries, all your doubts on the comment section. As soon as I get that time, I'll be happy to answer all those queries. Okay, I'll share all these details, all these required links in the description section. so you guys can get all this required information. All right. Okay, once again, please don't forget to subscribe. If you guys have liked this video, please do like it. uh, till then, we'll meet next time. Stay at home, be safe, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Thank you all.